Okay, so we're looking at the second video of the hardest sequence and some geometry to start with. So the lines here mean that they've got parallel lines, and again it's a hard one because you haven't done the topic, but see if you can get an answer. Okay, so what we do in this one, it's a little trick. So we just draw another parallel line in to match the other ones. So if that's 45, then that's 45. If that's 25, then that's 25. And so the angle is going to be 70 degrees. Okay, so that's a hard one because you haven't done this topic necessarily. Okay, this one here, calculated question, and it's a slaughter. Okay, so one thing you have to know is square meters and square millimeters, it's not times 1,000. Okay, so you've got a square piece of paper, 1 meter squared, and that is the same as 1,000 millimeters squared. So there's a clue, and see how you go. Okay, so with the clue I gave you, 1 meter is the same as 1,000 millimeters, so it's going to be 1,000 millimeters on that side, and so when you multiply those two together, you get 1,000,000 millimeters squared. Now, so that's what 1 meter squared looks like. It's 1,000,000. Now, if one of the sides is 841, we just divide 1,000,000 by 841, and that will give us the other side. So 1,000,000 divided by 841, and so the answer is to the nearest millimeter, 1,189 millimeters. Okay, so that's a good one there. Just make a diagram with 1,000 by 1,000, and then we just divide. All right, next question, question 30. Again, pretty low percentages. Okay, the car moves forward by 180, and that's the revolution of the wheel, which is the circumference. So see how you go with this one. Okay, so the circumference of a circle is 2 pi r, and it's also equal to pi d. And I'm going to use the pi d because that's the diameter we're trying to find. So we've got 180 equals pi d, so diameter equals 180 over pi, and again we've got to the nearest centimetre, so go 180 divided by pi on your calculator, and you get to the nearest centimetre will be 57 centimetres. Okay, moving on to the next question. Alright, so okay, so this one's, a few kids got it right, so see how you go. This one looks like it's a hard one, and we'll see how we go. Okay, so I don't know if that what a good strategy might be. So you got twice as long as they are wide. So I'm going to say that the width, I'm going to make up some numbers. So the width is 1 centimetre, and the length is 2 centimetres. I'm hoping this will give us an answer. So that the length is twice as long as the width. So the floor is 10.5 wide. So multiply that by 10.5. So I've got 10.5 centimetres. Okay. It's 18.5 long. So multiply that by 18.5, and I get 37 centimetres. So this is just putting numbers in, and it might be just as quick to do this way. Okay, so now I've got an area of 10.5 multiplied by 37, and so I've got an area of 388.5 centimetres squared. Each of the tiles is 2 centimetres squared, so I'm just going to divide 388.5. I'm going to divide by 2, so that gives me 194.25. So the total number of tiles to use to cover the floor, I'm going to cover my bases and say 195 tiles. Okay. Rightio. I think I could check that answer officially, but I'm going to say the answer is 195 tiles. Okay. Moving on. Okay, so we've got another geometry question. This is the last one in the series. And you get a good clue with the diagram. So see how you go and come back when you're ready. Okay, so we've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 full squares. But then these bits here can make a square, and those bits there can make a square, so I've got another 2. So I've got 7 squares, and I've got 175 centimetres. So 175 divided by 7, it's a non-calculator question. So 7 into 17, 7 2s are 14, carry 3, 7 5s are 35. So each square is 25. So the side length, if the square is 25, each side is 5 centimetres. Okay? And that's the end of the question. Hope you enjoyed that block.